Henderson, Bama football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Coming to you actually outside of Bryant-Denny Stadium. Just got the workout in here in downtown Tuscaloosa. As you can see, the stadium is right behind me. I appreciate you guys joining me. Let me know where you guys are watching from inside the comment box. I appreciate you guys being here and following our recruiting coverage, as it has been extremely hot for the Alabama Crimson Tide. A couple things I want to talk about today. Let me get the camera properly set up, and away we go. So I'm literally just on my phone right now, so I appreciate you guys sticking with me, hitting the thumbs up and being a subscriber of Bama football on YouTube. It is Friday. We made it to Friday here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and I hope you guys are excited for this weekend of what's to come, because the #1 running back, not in the state of Mississippi and Alabama, like the #1 running back in the entire country, is here to visit with this coaching staff and get a taste of this new energy and what is going on with the Alabama Crimson Tide. Kyle Henderson, hit the thumbs up button. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for joining my show, and thank you so much for being a subscriber of Bama football on YouTube. Man, there is so much work going on here outside of Bryant-Denny Stadium. You got construction crews, you got cranes, you got everything going on here at the University of Alabama in preparation for this next season. Living in Tuscaloosa, you know, when I first was here, these condos weren't here. This is 8 years ago. Literally, things have changed so much here in Tuscaloosa. The growth of that man right here, that's who did it all in this entire city, is Coach Saban, right? Let me know where you guys are checking in from. I appreciate you guys being here this morning right here on Bama football on YouTube. Appreciate you guys coming to us and watching our show. Yes, I am in front of Bryant-Denny Stadium this morning. What's up, Chris? I see you inside the comment box. All right, so as everybody gets checked in, look, recruiting has been hot for Alabama, hot. And the main reason is this coaching staff, Courtney Morgan, Akylin Dear, Kane Womack, Mo Lindquist, Jamarcus Shep, Nick Sheridan. It's been a full court press, okay? Roll Tide, whatever you want to say, it's working. Plain as day, it's working. Stacy, good morning too. Coming to us from Hattiesburg. We appreciate you being here, okay? The recruiting is working 1,000,000%. So let's start off right now talking about Akylin Dear. The #1 running back in the entire country is here in Tuscaloosa this weekend. Some point in time today, he will get here to take a visit with the Crimson Tide. Why would he flip from Ole Miss? Currently committed to Lane Kiffin. And look, Lane Kiffin has done an amazing job recruiting. He's done an amazing job in the transfer portal. I think a lot of people forget that Lane Kiffin only lost 2 games last year. That was to Alabama and to Georgia, okay? He's loading up. He has a lot of momentum himself. You look at the transfers that they've added, they're going to be a damn good team. You look at the front end of their schedule, Ole Miss is going to win a lot of games. We know this, okay? So now with him having the #1 running back, and with that running back coming here to Alabama, see, you see all the action here. How can Alabama gain some ground with Akylin Dear? Well, I think you showcase him, Akylin Dear's offensive identity, right? So not only do you have him with Robert Gillespie, who is a great recruiter, you show him the running backs that are currently on the roster, right? Jam Miller, Justice Haynes, Richard Young, Kevin Riley, Daniel Hill. And you show him, look, in the past, we have utilized our running backs to get to 1,000 yards. This is what we can do with your skill set. And look, Lane Kiffin, you know, he has his guys, he's going to operate. But if you are selling Alabama, you sell him this. Look, you sell him the brand that is here, right? You sell him this stadium. You sell him what this man built. And you say, look, we understand that Coach Saban built the foundation. The foundation is here. But we are going to distribute the football to our running backs as well. We are going to keep this offense, because we're in grass basketball. You are scoring so many points every single game, but we're not forgetting about our running backs. I asked you yesterday on my show, do you think Alabama will have a running back at the 1,000-yard mark? I think it's tough to do with this particular skill set of running backs, because each of these 3 main guys, Jam Miller, Justice Haynes, Richard Young, are so talented. I think it's going to be hard to really just feature one running back. And I don't think you have to. I think each of those running backs are capable in their own right to get the job done. So If I'm selling Akylin Dear about coming here to the University of Alabama, I showcase him the running backs that are currently here. I showcase him more than anything, though, the philosophy that you're going to get fed as a running back, right? The receivers are going to eat. The quarterback is always going to be the focal point, but the running backs are going to eat, right? Could someone look it up? How much did Johnson, the running back for Washington, undefeated, help me out, how much did he rush for last year at Washington? Was it 1,200 yards? I think it was 1,200 yards. Got some coffee checking in. You guys check out the beautiful scenery here in Tuscaloosa, outside of Bryant-Denny. This is the Walk of Champions. This is Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube, and I appreciate you guys being here, hitting the thumbs up and rolling with me this morning as we talk a little bit of recruiting going into a big weekend. I actually think next weekend will be bigger than this coming week, and I'll tell you why here in just a second. But Akylin Dear, we're leading off, the #1 running back in the country, coming to visit with the Alabama Crimson Tide, currently committed to Mississippi. And look, there's a lot of guys that might be committed elsewhere right now. It's early in the process, but since this full court press has been going on, it is a cold summer. It has been cold. You know, things are certainly are cooling down, like in a good way, because I'm sticking with the cold summer theme for Naheem Oford. We talked about him yesterday. The #1 player in the state of Alabama, who I think is things are certainly trending for him to flip from Ohio State to Alabama. So he's committed elsewhere. And there's a couple other guys like Ivan Taylor I'm keeping my eyes on that is currently committed to Notre Dame. I think he still has his eyes on Alabama as well. And we'll see what happens. Also in town this weekend, you have Jackson Lloyd. He's an offensive tackle from California. Coach Akylin Dear has done a really good job recruiting the state of California. I look to some of the prospects that he's already brought in, two in particular that stand out. Is you have Abdul Sanders, who will be here next weekend, linebacker from Los Angeles. And then you also just picked up Chuck McDonald out of Orange County, out of Mater Dei, same high school as Bryce Young. So he's been doing a really good job in California, and clearly being at Fresno State, you know, coaching at Washington, being on the West Coast, you're familiar. You've built up ties with California. California continues to pump out some of the best prospects in all of the land, and he's done a really good job in Texas too. But Jackson Lloyd will also be here. He's the offensive tackle from California. You look at the last two offensive linemen, really the first two that have jumped on board in this class of 2025. Michael Carroll out of Pennsylvania, 6'6", 325 pounds. And then you also brought in Mal Waldrop from the state of Alabama, really Phoenix City right next door to Auburn. So to be able to go to Phoenix City and be able to land one of the state's top offensive linemen says a lot about this coaching staff and about the direction of this program. So Jackson Lloyd will be here as well, along with the nation's #1 running back in Akylin Dear. Harry Dalton, this is another name to keep track of. This is another running back that will be in town this weekend, currently committed. When you talk to guys who are committed elsewhere, he is committed to USC out west. Now, the interesting thing is he's from out east in Virginia. Look, we've talked about this many times. It doesn't matter where you are from. Coach Akylin Dear and his staff are going to go after you. Seek and destroy, right? Seek and bring you in. And with a guy like Harry Dalton, this is a big, imposing running back. And I think it doesn't mean if you don't get one guy, you don't get the other. I think the way that you recruit your running backs is you need your speed guy. You need your guy who's kind of an all-purpose, but you do need a running back that is big, physical, that can run between the tackles, that can pick up the short yardage situations like a Daniel Hill. I know Daniel Hill is just a freshman this season, but at 230 pounds, like, you could feed him the ball inside the red zone. You could feed him the ball inside the goal line. Imagine Daniel Hill. Look at this lineup, okay? This would be called my heavy package. This is what I might do when the game NCAA football drops on July 16th. I might go with the heavy package. I might go Jalen Milroe. I might go Robbie Oots as my H-back. And I might put Daniel Hill in the back, right? What's up, C-Dub? I see you inside the comment box. Could you imagine that? Jalen Milroe at what, 230? Robbie Oots at 260. Daniel Hill at 230, right? Behind Jaden Roberts, behind whoever the center is going to be, Parker Brailsford, and behind Tyler Booker. Like, you are getting yards. So that's kind of my heavy package. C-Dub, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for being here so much right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys rocking with me, talking about who's going to be here this weekend, visiting the Alabama Crimson Tide. And as news happens, I got you covered. This morning, I had a workout this morning here in Tuscaloosa at downtown, so wanted just to stop by and report from campus. Bryant-Denny Stadium is right behind me. This is the Walk of Champions, and you're watching Bama Football on YouTube. Where would you rather be, right? Appreciate it, man. Chris, what's up, man? Appreciate you, man. Stay relentless, 100%, always. All right, who else will be in town? You got Akylin Dear, you got Jackson Lloyd, Harry Dalton, committed to USC. Keep watch on, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. I'll work on that today. But Alex Asparov, he's out of Fresno, California. He's a punter, okay? From what I gather, this is the best punter in college football. All right. Yes, and I do work out on Saturday mornings for sure. That'll be at North Ridge High School tomorrow. If you're in Tuscaloosa and you want a free workout, come out to the workout tomorrow. It's at 6 a.m. North Ridge Middle School. So this punter, Alex Asparov, he is from Fresno, California. Ironically, that's where Coach Akylin Dear used to coach, was at Fresno, right? So, I'm sure there's some ties there. I understand this is the best punter in the country. And why is this important? Well, number one, we never forget about special teams here on Bama Football on YouTube. In my opinion, Alabama has the #1 special teams group going into college football. Did you hear what I just said? You have Graham Nicholson, the returning Lou Groza Award winner, right? Beat out Will Reichard. Will Reichard, the all-time leading scorer in college football history. Fred Turner, what's up, man? The super chat, appreciate you, man. $5. This has been my first super chat all week. Thank you so much, man. Remember, this is what I do for a full-time basis. So if you want to support the channel, $2.99 per month to support me, and super chats, of course, help, man. So $5 super chat, that's what I got in total this week. So I appreciate you guys supporting the product right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Goes a long way. All right, so getting a punter on board is critical, because you also have James Burnip. I do not want to forget about James Burnip when we talk about preseason college football for Alabama. He is, in my mind, I don't know if there's a better punter out there in college football. He's probably, if there is, there might be a couple. He's up there. So you have not only Graham Nicholson, the returning Lou Groza Award winner, but James Burnip. Can I get a thumbs up if you guys think that Alabama's special teams is one of the best special teams unit in the country? Look, whoever you put back at kick returner, punt returner, put somebody that has speed, that has that kind of electric burst that can make you miss. I'm a big special teams guy. Like, I want kick returns for touchdowns. I want the most electric. Like when I play this game, NCAA football, I put a 99 speed, 99 agility back there returning punts. I want punt returns, all right? I don't want to just play field position. I want to go for the throw. So I think when you have James Burnip and Graham Nicholson coming back, really positive for Alabama. So getting this punter in as a visit from Fresno, we'll keep tabs. And as news happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube, we will keep you posted with any breaking news. So be sure and subscribe. Appreciate the super chats and for you guys becoming fan funders of this YouTube channel. Who is next to commit? Well, you look at Alabama and you look to their last 4 commitments, right? So you look to the fact that they landed Keelan Russell, their quarterback, out of California. You look to the fact that they landed Chuck McDonald. You look to the fact that they landed Michael Carroll, and you look to the fact that they brought in Ma Waldrop. Eula, what's up? English or Spanish? Buenos dias, ¿cómo estás? I appreciate you being here. Me llamo Kyle Henderson, a Bama Football on YouTube. Not broadcasted in Espanol currently. But we appreciate you watching from wherever you're watching from. So thank you so much for being here. And I think when you look to who's next to commit, I think that you probably look to a player like Dawson Merritt. I'm not sure kind of what the holdup is, if he's going to give Nebraska one last final say, but we'll see how kind of that goes. And but he is a 4-star linebacker out of the state of Kansas. And I think that eventually he's going to jump on board with the Alabama Crimson Tide, which will be another 4-star for the Crimson Tide in their class of 2025. And like I said, there are some 5-stars coming, and we're going to talk about which 5 stars are coming. Let me delete this person right here real quick. Ellie is kind of getting crazy and up inside the comment box. What was she saying? Say hi to Poppy or someone like that? Troy, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Also, I guess Jackson Lloyd, who is visiting this weekend. I think if things go really well for Jackson Lloyd, and why wouldn't they? He could be another guy that could pull a trigger, which would make Alabama have 3 offensive linemen in a row commit to the class of 2025. Don't forget about Coach Kapilovic in terms of recruiting. expert or, somebody that's really down in the trenches that's done a great job. I was thinking about this coaching staff. They are so young. All of these guys, I think Coach Kapilovic might be the oldest on staff, and I don't even think he's 60, right? He might be in his mid 50s, if that. I don't know how old he is, but the coaching staff overall is very young. I mean, you look to kind of the changing of the guards, Coach Saban, who's 72, and Coach Kevin Still, who is almost about to be 70. Alabama has re-gentrified their coaching staff, and I think they've been able to connect with the players really well over the last several months, and that's why recruiting is so hot. By the way, it's getting really hot right now. This morning when I was working out at 5, it was 73 right now. Man, it feels 80, and the sun is coming to us this way. I'm coming outside of Bryant-Denny Stadium. Walk of Champions, Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube, reporting to you from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, about this big weekend of recruiting. I appreciate the super chats, the thumbs up. Everything goes a long way right here at Bama Football on YouTube. 105,000 subscribers, brick by brick. That's how we've built it, and we continue to move forward right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Okay, so who's next? Dawson Merritt, Jackson Lloyd. Keep your eyes on that. All right, so in the next couple weeks, you also have some major targets. Let's talk about 3 5-stars that are coming within the next couple weeks to Alabama. All right. So you have Khalil Lockett. He's a 5-star wide receiver out of Texas. Now, what's been positive about Khalil Lockett, by the way, his highlights are absolute fire, is the connection between him and Keelan Russell, who's out of the Lone Star State as well. You get Khalil Rocket on board. Why am I messing up on this? You get Lockett on board. I think that says a lot about the receivers that you're pulling in, right? You also have Caleb Cunningham. Now, Caleb Cunningham is a wide receiver out of Mississippi. He's also a 5-star. He'll be here on June 21st. And then you have Dejon Lee. Dejon Lee is a 5-star out of California. There's California once again, who could be another talented addition to this class of 2025. Let me ask you, Undefeated, for those of you that follow recruiting, how many 5-stars do you think Alabama will end up with? I was thinking about it. I mean, theoretically, I think you could have 4 to 5 5-stars. All right, let me try to think about them off the top of my head. Let's just say you get Ty Haywood, which would be crazy. 5-star offensive lineman. I don't know if that's a pipe dream or not. Okay, you get Dejon Lee, right? There's 2. You flip Naheem Oford, that is 3. Khalil Lockett, that is 4. And Dejon Lee, that's 5. That would be 5 5-stars, right? That you get to commit to this class of 2025. I don't know if that'll happen, but I mean, you're definitely going to get 3. That's probably the worst case in my mind. I would say Naheem Odom. I would say maybe Dejon Lee. Like, those are 2 guys that I'm really feeling good about that would commit to the Alabama Crimson Tide. But what do you think? How many 5-stars do you think Alabama ends up with from the class of 2025? Okay, so kind of talked about recruiting. And you can watch on the rewatch. I talked about the weekend visitors. Most notable coming in, Akylin Dear, the #1 player in the state of Mississippi, and the #1 running back in the entire country will be here. I explained the reasons why I feel that Alabama could gain some ground, right? You talk about the playing style under Coach Akylin Dear. We also talked about Jackson Lloyd and another running back that'll be here in Harry Dalton, who is committed to USC. He'll also be here as well as Alex Aspero, a punter who is out of Fresno. So those are the guys. And there's a couple more. There's a couple like wide receivers and some linebackers. And as the news comes in, we will keep you posted right here on Bama Football on YouTube in terms of who is coming in to visit with the Alabama Crimson Tide. All right, let's switch gears real quick, and let's talk about, and I'll cruise through the comment box on this, but I want to ask you, what are your biggest concerns as we start to move through the middle of the year, right? What are your biggest concerns with this Alabama football team? Or the biggest concerns of like how Alabama is going to operate this coming season under Coach Akylin Dear? I think it's a question worth bringing up because, I mean, you could look at it in several different angles. You could look at it from, the entire top, like, okay, Alabama has a completely new coaching staff, which is a concern because they haven't coached a game together. You could look at the secondary because they haven't played a game together. You could look at your concerns. I know a lot of you have voiced your opinions about the quarterback play at Alabama. you could look at the concerns be the back end schedule for the Alabama Crimson Tide, right? And I've said this a bunch of times, and it's crazy to think about this. Alabama's back end stretch, you're going to face Eli Drinkwitz, you're going to face Josh Heupel, you're going to face Brian Kelly, you're going to face Hugh Freeze, and you're going to face Brett Venables, right? And that would be, and if Alabama is able to skate through those games, then you have your SEC championship game, which I don't know, maybe you play a Kirby Smart again, or maybe you play a Lane Kiffin, or maybe you play a Steve Sarkisian. We've looked at schedules on my show many different times, and the favorable schedules to make the SEC championship, because remember, it's just 1 versus 2, it seems to me like Ole Miss and Texas have a pretty good shot because of their schedule setup. When you look to Georgia, one of the things about their schedule is that they're on the road in Tuscaloosa, they're on the road against Lane Kiffin in Oxford, and they're on the road against Steve Sarkisian in Texas. So when you look to kind of the biggest concerns of this coming season, there's a lot of things to definitely look at. Name a car for edit. I didn't see that. How about a Nissan Maxima? That was the first car I drove. Everybody post, that just got me thinking, post your first car that you drove inside the comment box. Mine was a 1994 Nissan Maxima. All right. Brian Russell, what's up? He's saying the overall physicality. Okay. We're saying the defense as well. Matthew is curious about the new 4-2-5 defense. Cool guy, Cam, what's up, is saying that Rico Scott is the scariest wide receiver. You know, sometimes we do forget about the wide receivers that are on board, right? Like, you have Ryan Williams, of course, but let's not forget some other freshmen, right? You have, Caleb Odom, he's a freshman. Think about Rico Scott and think about Amari Jefferson. I personally really like Amari Jefferson. I think that he could certainly turn heads as well. Hey, Chris is asking anything on Ty Jackson. I think Ty Jackson is going to come in for a visit, but I think his official visit probably could be coming later on in the fall. But you know, I think you're absolutely right. Getting Ty Jackson on board would certainly be a great addition for Alabama for 2025. Donald Clark, what's up, man? See you inside the comment box. Joe Kroon, see you. What's up? Byron, what's up? I appreciate you guys being here this morning on Bama Football on YouTube and getting up early for Friday. All right, okay. We always do this on Fridays too. We do a calorie burned. All right, so I'm at 571 calories burned. Post what you guys are at. Byron Russell drove a Toyota MR2. All right. So I had two Maximas. I had a 1994 Maxima, and then I had two 12s in plexiglass. You remember this? How you'd have your system set up with a 600 watt Phoenix Gold amplifier, right? And yeah, it hit. And then I had a Nissan, a 2001 Mustang Maxima as well, and I had just 110. I had a system in each of those two cars, and then I had, which I still have, 2004 Nissan Frontier, and then I most recently have a Tundra. So that's those are the vehicles that I have. Joe Kroons is saying the offensive line is my biggest question mark. I feel that by the end of the season, it will be a strength. See, oh shit, you drove a 76 Monte Carlo? That's what's up. 1989 Toyota Tercel hatchback. What's up, Maddie? I see you inside the comment box. I feel good about Alabama's offensive line with the return of Caden Proctor. I guess my only concern is kind of that right tackle position. And we've kind of gone back and forth about who we feel is going to be the starting offensive tackle on the right side of the ball. I would say right now it would be Welcome Formby, but, you know, I guess we'll have to see how that goes. Matthew was saying I got 2 Scars 10s with 2K. Oh, man, in my Grand Prix, I bet that hits, right? See, I was going for more like the clean base. I didn't want to, like, you know, I mean, of course, like one of my buddies had a Jeep Cherokee, and he had, I think he had 315s in there. I have no idea what type of amp he had. First car, Chris from New Jersey saying his first car was a 1979 Chevy with light blue. Man, that's what's up, man. And George Scott is saying, yeah, I'm not concerned about the offensive line. Yeah, I'm not too either. And when you start to, like, kind of poke holes at this team or try to, you don't see, you know, a lot of holes, right? I guess you just have question marks. Like, for me, another one is, like, the secondary, where you could be like, well, before you're like, who's going to be the corner? I think there's good competition at the corner with Deshaun Jones now coming in. My only concern is like the guys have not played together. Here's another concern that I have is that Coach Akylin Dear, as a coach, and I know, look, things have been going well, but I'm being honest with you here, okay? He has not coached a game away in the SEC. Fred is saying 84 Mazda 626. I don't even know what that is. I'm gonna look that up. Jamie is saying ain't worried about physicality. If you saw Washington play last year, they played on edge with less talent, and we have the best strength program in the country. Yeah, I like that. Good feedback. But Akylin Dear has not played on the road in the SEC, right? Games against Tennessee, games against LSU, games against Oklahoma, right? Like we have not. Sometimes we forget that Brett Venables is the head football coach at Oklahoma, right? So the back end of that schedule is something that definitely concerns me. Eli Drinkwitz, Josh Heupel, Brian Kelly, Hugh Freeze. Granted, that game is here in Tuscaloosa, and then also going on the road against Brett Venables. So I think the back end of that season is something that is concerning to me. Jamie, I appreciate you, man. Good morning. I appreciate you. Brian Russell, yeah, that's what I'm getting at, Kyle. I got you. Byron is talking about some speakers hitting Got to Love Kyle. He's legit. Dude, 100%, because I like it, but I had to work for this system that I had in my truck, or in my Maxima. And I remember, I don't know if you had this in your area, but we had Audio Express, the home, the $1 install. So basically you took it and you bought like your stuff and they would install it, Mississippi State, man, it's one of the loudest stadiums, 100%. I completely agree with you. It's crazy how loud that stadium gets. And I was just talking about that. I have a buddy who played at Mississippi State, and it's not that big of a stadium, but it's certainly one of the loudest. And I think, Alabama, you have to remember Alabama's not playing Mississippi State or Ole Miss this year, which is interesting. All right, Ryan checking in with the 1992 Honda Prelude. Yep, imported B2 turbo. That's what's up. You know what? I liked Honda Preludes. Prelude, right? I kind of liked the look of them. A couple guys. One guy had it. One of those at my high school. My best buddy had an Eclipse. Remember these? Do they still make Eclipses? I don't know if they still make Eclipses or not. Yeah, Jordan Hare is certainly loud. The good thing about that game this year is it's it's here in Tuscaloosa. By the way, if you guys are don't make that Eclipse anymore. All right, so here I am, Bryant-Denny Stadium. All right, I kind of do a walk and talk as I finish out. But yeah, I wanted to just jump on and talk some Alabama football recruiting. It's a big weekend. I think next weekend will be bigger. With some other 5-stars coming in. But I think things are going so well for Alabama, and I'm not surprised. I'm really not. I think that a lot of the momentum is because the coaching staff, but also Coach Akylin Dear has put together a really good plan in place, to showcase this university and showcase his message. And I was reading the comment box yesterday, and someone brought up a good point. They're like, just because Coach Akylin Dear is not Coach Saban doesn't mean that he can't get the job done as well. Like, you see all these new things. Like, I did a video with the team listening to Lil Baby and busting out freestyle in the film room. Someone was like, that would never happen under Coach Saban. No, but that it's just because one thing works doesn't mean another thing can't. And it is certainly working. And right now, recruiting is so important. I think the transfer portal is more interesting. And I think that's kind of the way, the next wave is a transfer portal. But there's these upper echelon football teams are still going to recruit at a very high level. That's why you're seeing Alabama still in play for a lot of these, marquee individuals. And like I asked you earlier, I think that Alabama could end up with 3 to 5 5-stars. I really do. I'm not sure. And it's going to break the internet when it happens. And I can't wait for that to happen. So it's just kind of a matter of time. But right now, kind of the building blocks of this team, I think I went out of focus right there. They're here. So rest easy. Enjoy the recruiting coverage. And, as news comes in, we'll keep you posted right here at Bama Football on YouTube. But, yeah, just starting the day out, at Bryant-Denny, outside of it. Man, what a beautiful day, right? You see all the greats. Bear Bryant, that's where it started, right? You see Gene Stallings, 1992, right? Jay Barker, quarterback of that squad. And then, of course, the greatest football coach in history. Man, you know what? You got to be a complete badass to have a statue of yourself when you are still alive. Think about that, right? Like, you're alive and you have a statue. Man, that's when you know you're just on a different level. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Jarvis, what's up, man? I appreciate you for supporting me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. And as the news happens regarding Alabama Crimson Tide football, whether it's team, whether it's recruiting, we will keep you posted on Bama Football on YouTube. Have a beautiful Friday. Enjoy yourselves, enjoy your life, and be good people. And I will catch up with you soon. Oh, by the way, I wanted to say one thing before I go. Let me get this set up again. All right, let me get it straight. Okay, can I get a roll tide or a roll call of all of the fathers inside the comment box, right? I want to give a shout out to you for Father's Day, okay? And I'll hop on here before then as well. But with Father's Day upcoming, you know, as you know, I'm a single parent. I have 2 kids, and you know, they mean so much to me. And I think every single thing that I do is geared towards them. And being a father comes with so much responsibility, and you have to grow as a leader and as a man to parent your children, right? And my children are the most important things to me. And you know, I think being a parent you know, helps you in so many different ways. And I think probably one of the greatest blessings in my life has been being able to be a father to my children. And it's not easy, right? Because you're always a parent, right? There's no breaks. And I love that. You know, and it's hard, you know. I think it's helped me personally, you know, over the years, set boundaries with myself, right? Do I want to go hang out and party? Sometimes, you know, I'm a human. But man, I have them, and their emotional well-being is the most important thing to me. And I think, you know, kind of you become selfless as a father, you become selfless as a parent, you know, and you know, it's just it comes with such a great responsibility. But there's nothing better than being with your children. And you know what? It's amazing that as you get older in life, time starts to fleet, right? Like, time is always fleeting and it goes faster. I'm not sure why that happens, but the older you get, time goes faster. So, I mean, my kids are older now. You know, Caden's 15, Lacey is 11, and, you know, I just enjoy every single minute with them. So, cheers to you for being a father out there and for being in your children's life. And if you're a mother out there, same to you, you know, I mean, because there's no better thing than you can do to parent your children and be there for them emotionally and to love them. I appreciate you guys being here so much right here on Bama Football on YouTube, and enjoy my morning segment. As news happens, I will be covering Alabama football. So you got to stay relentless, stay focused, have a vision, and keep pushing forward. And I appreciate you guys being here so much. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama, outside of beautiful Bryant-Denny Stadium on the Walk of Champions, right? Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys supporting me. Thank you so much, and I'll catch up with you.